Do we remember rotten.com? That's the website. Yeah. This is a little before your time, Caleb. When I was in high school, and we had our IMAX, multicolored, rainbow colored IMAX in the schools and everything. We would get on the internet when the teacher wasn't looking, and I'd get around the security shit, and we'd go to rotten.com or we'd go to whitehouse.com. Whitehouse.com, porn site. Rotten.com was like a gore site. Rotten.com was just all gore. I remember the homepage was a cornucopia of cocks that someone had edited together. Imagine that you edited out 80 boners and then made a bouquet of them. It was that was one of the pictures. And we just ew, ew, as we went through one of the others, 15-year-old dudes. And there was one guy who had killed himself, I think, with a 12 gauge. And the whole bottom of his face is missing, and his tongue is just lolling out all crazy. And that is engraved in the back of my skull forever, because I saw that shit when I was 14 or 15, and I shouldn't have.
Do you guys remember how much of computer class was tricking your friends into whitehouse.com and Lemon Party and Meat Spin? Meat Spin was the hardest because that's obviously something sinister, but Lemon Party and whitehouse.com.
Man, I didn't like to trick people. I just like to open the home pages to the porn and then hide it behind something and then walk away and leave it like a little porn bomb. So the teacher wouldn't be there, and the IMAX communal. It's in the middle. It's not necessarily the teachers, but it's what she uses to grade papers as well. But I'd go over there and I go to lovetop.com, and it's just girls sweating themselves, but they don't wanna. and I open up a big picture of a hot blonde chick, and she's like, "Oh no!" And she's peed her panties, and she's peeing her panties in the moment. There's it's trickling and stuff, and then I slide I don't know, whatever her papers were, her grading shit, right over that, and go sit in my seat and just wait. Just wait, because either she's gonna freak out or she would never say anything. She caught me, or she didn't catch me. She saw it and she just went clickety click, clickety clack. She didn't say a word. But I'd fuck with people all the time. They'd be like, there's girls peeing, and I'm like, yeah, there are.
I remember kids doing the most petty pranks in keyboarding class, where they would pop out all the ends and take them home, because you could just pop out the keys, and this kid would do that semi-regularly. Or they would during keyboarding class, he would change the keys on the keyboard to write words, slurs that only have one of each, letter, obviously, because you don't have a huge amount to pick from. I mean, there was no point to keyboard class in 2002 and 2003, because we were at an age where we were already learning more about how all this worked than the 50-year-old woman who 2 years earlier was teaching life skills and now was the computer lady. Yeah. And so it was she was just a placeholder. She could have just as easily been overseeing study hall. And now we're supposed to be listening to her. And you could get her by changing the background on a PC, and she'd be like, someone change this back. It better be changed back. It's you can just right click it. Just right click it and change the background back to the fucking green pasture.
Oh, I would have killed to have had an inept computer teacher, so I could have gotten away with all that cheating I tried to do. I printed out a whole semester's worth of papers on my home printer, because they weren't my papers. They were someone else's that I had stolen on a thumb drive. And she recognized that my printer was ink and not laser, and fucking zeroed me.
What?
Yeah. I made a 40.
in keyboarding?
No. This is computer applications 2 or something. This is doing Excel spreadsheets and stuff like that. It's tons of Excel spreadsheets, tons of just all of even Word stuff, like Word doc stuff. Just I handed in a semester's worth at a time, and I got a 40 in that class. That's the lowest. That's definitely the lowest I've ever made in a class. Did you ever fail a class, Taylor? Ever?
No, I've never failed.
Oh, it's fun when you get to that point where you're going to fail, and so there's no, you can't do anything to me here. You have no power over me. I'm gonna make a 40. What are you gonna do?
Dude, I was jealous of the kids who obviously had horrible home lives and didn't care they were failing. I remember them being yeah,
I wish I was failing. Yeah,
I'd see them and they'd be like, dude, I'm gonna flunk algebra, and I'd be like, damn. I
wish I could take the city bus home, man.
I'd be consumed.
I gotta go to
fear.
Stupid piano practice. That guy's getting real world experience.
What would have happened if you'd failed algebra 1?
I mean, nothing that serious. My dad would have giving me a talk where he's like, "Are you stupid? Like, really? Yeah, you can do this. You're being lazy. We both know it. You're being lazy." And it would have been the extent of it. Like, he would have like maybe threatened like, "You can't be on the hockey team this year." But that lost all of its threat when that was like when he took more pride in me playing hockey than anything else, and so he would never do that to himself.
You know what? You're playing hockey all year long now, Taylor.
Yeah,
You're gonna lock you in the hockey ring if you don't like school.
So yeah, it would have
a
been
lot more goals. He'd be like, "You're gonna have to save a lot more goals if you want to have those kind of grades, Taylor." And get by. All right.
We both know you're not going to the NHL. Do your math homework.
I failed algebra. I failed it because I slept through it. It was first period, and I just didn't care. And I had to go to summer school, and that blew. That blew so much. Having to get dropped off at a high school that wasn't even my high school. I had to go to a neighboring county's high school. It was like a 25-minute drive each way. And I didn't have a car because I'm 15 and just getting dropped off by my mom at summer school every day with the rest of the degenerates who were in summer school. It was awful.
Did you do little mental exercises while you were in there? Like, I'm not like these people.
I wasn't like them. Like, they were criminals in there. Like, it was almost like jail again. There was an Indian guy.
Are they felons now if we call them up? And
dude, it was crazy in there. There was the most ballsy Indian guy I'd ever seen in my life. He was calling the black guys the N-word to their face on the daily. He's on the day, and I don't mean like in a friendly kind of way. He was like, "Shut the fuck up, ninja," and it was like, and I'm just like, dude, they're so much bigger than you. But for some reason, it was like they kind of put their heads together. It was like, he's so comfortable with it. Maybe he's got a gun. I don't know what they thought. They just like, they didn't want to try him. And it was a eye-opening experience that if I didn't get back to school and pass Algebra 2, then I could go down a rocky road that involved these people.
Yeah. Those guys didn't want to tussle with one of the best and brightest.
Yeah. But I passed algebra when I got back to real school because I had seen what the alternative was. It was not fun.
Was your Indian escort like your training day? Was he like your Denzel, like walking you through the ropes? How can you call them that? No, trust me. Trust me.
I was blown away.
Trust me, sir.
I've never seen that before because every time I'd ever seen that go down, it involved a beating, and usually like a bunch of people were going to beat you up if you called a black guy the N-word. Like you weren't just going to get in a fight. You were going to get jumped.
Yeah. Best to avoid.
Yeah.
On the summer school thing, Caleb, Dick, did you guys have, I never had to go to summer school, but I had like a strong feeling of like, that's for retards. Like that's for the morons. Like,
yeah, I definitely thought less of people who went to summer school for sure.
You knew lots of them?
I was homeschooled though. So,
you were homeschooled?
I didn't have any kind of, I fucking finished school in like 90 days.
What?
I was in God mode, dude.
Your entire education was homeschooled, like K through 12?
First grade was regular school. Everything else was all homeschooled.
Damn. I was homeschooled for 2 years, like 7th and 8th grade, I think, or maybe 6th and 7th. I was homeschooled. I just get in too much trouble, and I had like an issue with a kid. We were getting fights like on the weekly, and it was every week we get in a fight, so it just wasn't working. One of us had to go.
You missed all the best like molesty teachers if you stayed home for 7th and 8th grade. Like that's when you're first noticing the ones that like loom over the curls and rub their dicks on their desks.
Yeah,
like
it was weird.
Dude, I remember that teacher giving girls back grubs in 7th grade in the math class and having the wherewithal at like 12 or 13, however old you are, to be like, this isn't appropriate.
Whoa.
Like,
my
ninth grade, okay.
My 9th grade biology teacher said that shower heads had 3 settings: low, medium, and who needs a man. And I knew what he meant. And I'm looking around like, anybody else know what the fuck this guy just said? Nobody. He's like right after that, he's like, Christina, come pass these papers out for me. And I'm like, this sick fuck. Yeah, there was always some of that. But when I left for homeschool, it was definitely like where most people were prepubescent, like early 6th grade. And then when I got back, everybody had titties. Like it was an eye opener. Like I left and everybody was like little girls, and I got back and everybody turned into grown-ups. So it was
that's puberty.
Yeah,
everybody gets like 8 inches taller over that one summer. Voices change and you sound awkward.
Yeah.
I remember my friend group that I have to this day that I went to high school, there's all of us are on the same page of like, dude, that one PE coach we had was a fucking creep. He got fired multiple times for being creepy.
He watched you shower, right?
He would like spend way too much time around us naked in the shower. Like,
naked?
Well, yeah,
Anytime is too much time.
It would.
They were naked.
We were naked. Sometimes he would join us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were naked.
He would join us.
So, like,
This is spot.
I have one friend in my friend group who's a denier, who's like, he wasn't doing anything untoward. You know, he was just a weird guy. He had to make sure that nothing negative was happening in the shower. And I'm like,
I'm protecting you guys from pedophiles. Hold on, get close to me.
I was like,
your friend who doesn't think anything was happening. Is he a good-looking guy? What I'm getting at is, do you think he was like the real victim? You know what I mean?
See, that's the problem.
Take him aside, give him a little extra coaching.
I don't think he was, because he's like 6'4". He started balding at like 15. He's a big guy. And so he wasn't the guy that would have been
Coach's favorite.
Nah, that wouldn't have been Coach's guy. And we would tell him, we'd be like, dude, it's weird. And he's like, he's making sure nothing crazy happens in the shower. He has to keep an eye on us. And I'm like, pause. Remember Coach Smith? Remember how Coach Smith handled that? He would stay in his office, and if he had to come out, which was like 10 minutes before the next class, you couldn't pay that dude to look up from the tile. He was like, boys, next class, 10 minutes, hurry it up. And then he was back in his office like any normal person would handle that. The other guy there was a channel where you could look down the corridor to the shower, and then you'd take a right into the shower. It was like
one of those low beach chairs, not a normal beach chair, but one really low down. So your eyes are right at dick level.
He would lean up against the wall and like look down the hallway as you were. I remember him like looking at me drying off and being like, the fuck is this guy's problem? And he would stay in the main area where it's all a bunch of like 8th graders, you know, showering and joking around and getting ready for the next class.
Caleb, I missed all this stuff. Doesn't it sound fun?
Yeah. Shit.
That
sounds like a fucking blast.
You missed the American Bachabazi that we all
Caleb
got to do.
Caleb would have been Coach's favorite, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. He would have loved
he'd be like, he'd come in there, you're like showering.
Teacher's pet.
He'd be like, with your flowing locks, use this conditioner now. He's like, actually, here, let me help. Like it would be a whole thing.
Oh yeah, you would have made it into his diary that would later be evidence.
Shit.
I thought about you and your pedo coach the other day because I was reading a Reddit thread about the exact topic, and someone said they had a lesbian female gym coach who would go in there and like be around the naked like kids and be like, all right, 5 more minutes, and everybody thought it was funny. And I was like, I don't think I would have thought that was funny. Like, we didn't shower at all. You're always shocked by this, but it wasn't an option. Like, we would do. I had my schedule so that my weightlifting classes and stuff were at the end of the day, so I wouldn't be stinky. But it wasn't at the very end. I think it was like 6th period I would lift weights, and then I had 7th period economics, all sweaty. I can remember being like, you know, when you've been sweaty and the AC hits you, and you like. I can remember being in economics all shivery from weightlifting. But there was no option to shower.
My gym classes were at the beginning of the day, and it was like, it would have been social suicide to go throughout every day smelling of BO. And so it was understood that, you know, you're going to shower. You have to.
Can't imagine that. Like, none of us can, I don't think. Although it would have been great for that. People did ag, because we had a goddamn pig barn at my high school. Then you would go in there and like raise piglets. And I don't know if you've ever been a pig barn before, but it smells like pig shit. And pig shit is one of those stinks that attaches itself to you, and then you carry it with you until you bathe and wash. And like there'd be kids that smell like pig shit all day. It's like I may have failed that class too. That was horticulture.